But if your brain immediately goes into, you get a project, you're like, okay, what are the things I need to do? Or if your brain goes into, okay, who do I need to figure out what we need to do? So I want the task-oriented in your quadrants, and the people-oriented over here. So you are moderate-paced, people-oriented, fast-paced, people-oriented. Are you on this side?
Yeah.
Excellent. So you are fast-paced, task-oriented, and moderate-paced, task-oriented. All right. So what does this mean? Right? Have you?
Oh my God.
So are you?
No, moderate.
You're moderate. You're fast, though,
I'm
right?
fast about task.
Yeah.
Oh, I said,
You get your task all by yourself. You got to represent. All right. So what this means, I'm gonna tell you what the quadrants mean, and see if what I say makes sense for the way your brain thinks. Because as an entrepreneur, as a leader, the big thing for you is being able to figure out how do I think, and then how does the person that I'm speaking with think. Because we want to be able to say the same message, but they speak a different language than they do.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. So, let me make sure I've got this in the right order. So you are, I'm going to start with you. You're fast-paced, and I'm going to start with her because she's got to go, right? Fast-paced, task-oriented. These are what we call the directors. The directors are the decision makers. They don't want to know all the details. If you send an email, send three bullets at the most. Tell me which bullet you want me to really look at, because I'm not going to look at everything. So these are the ones that they're really fast-paced. They're willing to make decisions fast. They want to make sure that they get everything done. They'll change their mind if they have to, but you just have to prove that it's worth changing, right? So these are good leaders from that perspective, good decision makers. Way to represent our drivers. All right, so you're the moderate-paced, task-oriented. Okay, so these are our analyticals. These are the people who want to make sure that everything is dotted, every T is crossed. They ask why a lot.
Oh.
Why do we need to change? Right, that's a big one. Why do we need to change? Why do we need to do this? They make sure, they want to have all the detail that you don't want to have. The reason they're good on a team is that you need people who know all the details. You need somebody who will say, stop with the details and let's get going. But you've got to have somebody that knows everything that's going on, how everything connects, right? They're great investigators. So when we're in problem-solving mode, they're the ones that are going to go out and find where all the issues are, right? Then you are moderate-paced and people-oriented. So these are the ones that make teams feel like a family. These are the ones who everybody goes and talks to them. They don't talk to you. Yeah, they talk to them because you scare them. You don't mean to, right? Just people see you as intimidating, whereas they come to you. So it's great to have these people on your team to be your eyes and ears. They're the ones that want to make sure that there's harmony, that there's justice, that there's equality. They're the ones that are always saying, how can I help you? What can I do for you? Right? Great people to have on the team. Now you are fast-paced, people-oriented. You are what we call the expressives. So the expressives are the ones who have to hear themselves to see if by the end of the conversation I agree with myself. Right? So lots of ideas. Great brainstormers. They're the wonderful people to have in the beginning of a project where you got to come up with all the ideas. You, sorry, not so much. Because as soon as you hear one idea, the first thing you want to do is evaluate it. Right? So we got to give us enough time to brainstorm so you can say which ones are really probably easier to work with, which ones have more holes. Here's the thing that I love about this group, because you're the group that I work with the most. If you just phrase your brain thought into one, just add one little phrase. Say, that's an interesting idea. Would you like to hear the issues that I see? So, because you have a lot, your brain is amazing at seeing the holes. You think every idea you have is brilliant. It's not. I'm one of you, so I'm right there with you. So, but it's being able to these are the people that want to be invited to every single party, but they'll probably go to 20%. But when they come, they're the life of the party, right? These are the people that want to know what's going on, where do I need to be, who's going to be influential there, right? These are the people that want to know, okay, what do I need to bring? What are all the different pieces? You know, they want to know what's the logistics of everything. And these are the people that are the ones that goes around, anybody that's sitting by themselves, they go and talk to them, right? So you think about this from a team perspective. Y'all can sit down now. Thank you for
Can we change where we stand? Because I'm about to change.
So we're gonna, it's gonna be our CEO.
Yes. But the big thing about it is you would have the same message, but you say it in different ways, right? If you talk to people on this side, you give a lot of detail. If you talk to people on this side, you give the high levels. Because they assume you've thought through enough of the details that they just make decisions based on what you need. Does that make sense? Excellent. All right. So that's all I have.
So how do we close it? We
Yeah,
are
go ahead.
I have a question.
Yeah, come on, come on.
I have myself in between.
Yeah.
I found myself in between.
Of course.
The task phase and the moderate phase. The common thing with the task.
Yes.
But yeah, so I found myself.
We are all four. Your brain just thinks one way first, and then you move into the others. You have to be more intentional about moving into the others, but the more you practice, the easier it is to do it without thinking about it. But your brain always thinks one way first. So I am like, because this is a real assessment that you take. I'm like 99% off the chart, both of these. When I'm in happy mode, I'm brainstorming, I'm happy, everything's great, but as soon as something goes wrong, I'm going to move right over into the director and I'll say, all right, this is the way we're going to do it. Right?
So what's your phrase for your phrase? The way you, I can't remember the example.
So we had the drivers.
Yes.
The
drivers and
the drivers, the analyticals,
Yeah.
the
Team player.
yeah, these are the yeah, God, it starts with an S. And then these are the C's that are these are the people that are oh my brain just went wrong. The conscientious. Yeah, the conscientious. You're the conscientious. DISC. So you're the expressives, the influencers. Yeah. It's fun, right? Because you want to say the same thing, but to an influencer, like you think about the people that you want to hire, right? If you want to hire a salesperson that is not selling a technical product, you probably want to hire somebody who's an influencer. Because they love trade shows, they love talking to people, their brain goes like this, but you don't want them to be your account maintenance person, right? Because I can say this because I am one, right? I am all in your business and I love you and everything's great, and then as soon as I come over to you, I've totally forgotten who you are, and I'm really into you, right? So you want somebody from this group to come behind and be the account manager, because they love and nurture and want to stay with you for a long time. We have too many people to meet. What else?
This is tough. Because I think when I listen, I want all this in my mouth.
Yes.
I want all
You
of
do?
it. I think the point is the balance.
Yes.
Because when I stand here, I see myself like a bit of each of these.
Yes.
But I think it's the balance, isn't it?
It is absolutely the balance. And that's where I find a lot of entrepreneurs and managers in companies go wrong.
Yeah.
Because they hire people like them because I feel comfortable in the interview. But if you have a whole lot of people who just focus on making the team feel like a team, then they may not be making as many decisions. Right? They may not get as many people across the finish line. You gotta have the mix. Absolutely. What else?
I have a question. Like as an
entrepreneur, like if you have a big team, then only you can have a liberty of choosing who to keep in the team. But as a beginner, what are the criteria one should keep keep in mind while selecting?
Yeah, boy, that's a hard one, right? Because a lot of entrepreneurs feel like I don't have very much money right now, but I'm overloaded and I need help, so I'm just going to take whoever I can. The problem is, by taking whoever you can, you're not really looking for what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses. So I've got to hire somebody whose strengths are my weaknesses, right? Not just from a technical perspective, from what I can do, but also the way I approach things. That's why, a lot of these sessions that we've been going to, they've been talking about gender intelligence and all of these things where you've got to have the diversity of thought and all of the experiences, right? Because the more diversity you have, the more creative and the more innovative the process. So when you're looking for somebody in the beginning, the first thing that I always tell people to do, make a huge list of everything you do. Because as a solopreneur, you do it all, right? Then I want you to go through and mark out what are the things that only I can do. And you're going to say too many things or only you can do. That's not true. So what are the things that someone else can do for you? And what I have found, do any of you have people who are like virtual assistants or people who are not full-time employees?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I found, this is the gig economy, right? So fewer and fewer companies, like I've been in business 4 years now and I don't have any employees. I have a whole lot of people who work with me. So I've hired bookkeepers and accountants and social media gurus, and I've got people who do research for me. I have people who go out and I've got a bench that do speeches and coaching and so all of these things, but they all have their own companies. So I outsource what I need when I need, but I have a group that I have formed that I know works for me. Because they have skills that I don't have, they have certifications I don't have, they have the capability of doing things like, there's some areas I teach negotiation, there's some negotiations I do really well in and some I don't. So I've got a person on my team that he's amazing at the kinds of negotiations that I don't do well. It's not like you have to hire somebody, but you have to look for what are your strengths and weaknesses and what are theirs. What else?
Do you recommend outsourcing initially?
Outsourcing to what?
Outsourcing resources initially and then moving to hiring people?
Well, that's
there's no fixed formula.
Yeah, there's not. There's really not. That's kind of the formula that I've decided. This is my second business. The first business I had employees, and I've realized I get more diversity by having to outsource. I still have staff meetings. We meet every 2 weeks on the phone because I have a lot of people who aren't anywhere close to where I live. And so they still feel like a team, but they are all, especially in the U.S., we have to be really careful that they're not perceived as employees from a regulation perspective. Yeah, so, but really making sure I get better thought, better views of things because I've got more people, but they're not my employees.
In terms of conflict resolution in an office space, who do you want to keep away from each other?
The opposites, right? So this is an easy one to do. So the people who are very analytical and the people who are very high level, they drive each other crazy. These people think that the analyticals are constantly shooting them down, constantly challenging them, constantly making them feel like their ideas aren't any good. It's not true. Because what they're trying to do is they want the ideas to work, they just see the potential holes.
They want to get out there and just get it done, and these are the ones who are putting the stopper in the glove.
Yes.
They're putting the plug in the base.
This is the group that has all of my phrase is wouldn't it be cool if? And the team that I had when I was in corporate, as soon as they heard that, they were like, oh no. Because it would be cool if we did this, but y'all are the ones that have to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm coming up with more ideas. This group is also opposite. So you've got the people who are making quick decisions and the people who are, wait, we haven't heard from everybody yet. I want to make sure that everybody gets it. Yeah, there's consensus, that we have harmony, right? So those are harder. But if you can get the conversations going and the rules of engagement that we have respect and whatever rules you come up with, then the conversation is richer because you have that.
I asked that because you said to this group, I'm going to give you a sentence that you should use when you're dealing with this kind of
Yes.
person, and it makes so much sense. If you say that to somebody, you'll both stop.
Yes.
And yeah, do you have anything for those two? Because that's where I am.
Yeah, in here, I haven't really. One of the things that I learned, because I'm a driver, and most of my people that I hire on this side, because I need people who will put my ideas into action, right? So one of the things that I had to learn as the driver is that my brain goes so fast. It's got this mental checklist, and I would do drive-bys, and I would just do a brain dump, right, with my team. And after the first one, because both sides do this, after the first item that I give them, they want a lot more information. Whereas I'm so high level, I just give them the first idea, and then I'm on to the second and the third and the fourth, and they're just formulating the questions out loud. They've been doing it in their brain for the first idea, and I'm like, oh wait. So the first thing that I always tell the drivers is write it down and shoot an email or a text to this group before you have a meeting. So they have time to think about it, so when they come to the meeting, then they can actually have the conversation. Because otherwise, if we ask a question, and this group, both groups over here, they like to think first. Well, if you don't say anything in the first 2 or 3 seconds, then we assume you don't have anything to say, so we gotta keep talking. So you lose half of the world's capability by not giving them a chance to talk. Let's go to you, then we'll go.
I think the way you said was the drivers and the influencers, though they are the driver is decision maker, but influencer is people who will connect the idea and the product or whatever message it is to the market.
Yeah.
And the task makers, their role is to back them up.
Have I done everything?
And if to take the go-to-market programs or whatever it could be, if the task makers are slower than these guys, then again we are challenging the whole idea.
Yes.
And somewhere we will see everything trickling down rather than picking up.
This world loves systems. This world hates to spell it. Right? They don't. But systems, rules are just guidelines, right? Here, rules are rules. Yeah. So there's a really big difference. Like one time, I ended up teaching in both India and China in the same trip. And I'd gone to China first, and it was my first time to both countries. In China, everything is so lined up. Right? There's very strict rules. Everybody follows the rules. And then I come to India, and there's like, what? there's oxen and cows and motorcycles and trucks and cars all on the same road. Right? It's a guideline. That's kind of what this is. This is India. This is China.
I mean, we have psychologists perhaps here as well, like Myers-Briggs, the 16 personality types. I have just been thinking about how, even in our own families, it's possible to get children that probably even belong to these groups. So I think it's a very good point about leadership, because really at the end of the day, if you are leading these teams, right, if you have an understanding that how to communicate with different types of people, then you are more or less able to guide your organization and move better. But if you would like people to think the way you do, and then others are outside the box, maybe you they are just not. It's just they have had it, that's how they are. And even with our children too, you know, you find there is one that's completely like, you know. So it's just a human thing. And I think as leaders, personal leadership as well as leadership in the society, we need to understand that.
Exactly.
Nestle, one of the things that I learned, and it was in the role of a chairman, I am the person who's over there, the people thing, and I have all these people around me, sometimes in competition and in conflict with each other. So what I learned was to ask the one question to all, and that is using a thinking environment forum that I ask everyone, what is your best thinking on this issue?
Yes.
And everyone in the room hears the best thinking and then put it back to them based on what we have collectively heard. What is the issue now? So distilling it so that everybody comes on the field. And I find that works when you are in the top layer of the leadership. But if you are in the middle leadership, you can still apply the same issues. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know, when I read the ethics leadership, leader, and as a perfectionist, there is always a challenge of delegation.
Yes.
Especially when you are in a client industry, you know, where there is cutthroat competition. So I think for me, that's a challenge. How do you delegate? Because when you delegate, you know, you're not working on a guinea pig in the form of a client. It's an actual transaction that is taking place. So I would love you to, you know, share some thoughts on how you delegate and how do you let go of what is that point as a leader sitting at the helm of affairs as a perfectionist.
Right.
You need to let go of, and so that's
Yeah.
that's a challenge from I face myself in my own personality and.
Well, I think there's a couple of things. One, if you don't delegate, your company will only grow as big as your personal capacity, right? So if you want a bigger company, you've got to create systems or procedures that you feel as if the people that you have hired, I've made the right hires. I trust them because I've trained them up, and I'm willing to give it to them. I've got one of my Goldman Sachs leaders. I just love her. She runs a steel mill, right? Very male-dominated industry. And what she's decided after our class, she has 5 post-it notes on her computer, and each post-it note is one element of her business that she's responsible for. Like one of them has vision on it. So anything that comes up in her business that's not one of those 5, normally she would go handle it. But after the class, what she realized is, I have already empowered someone to do that, so it's my responsibility to go talk to them about what my concern is and to let them handle it. So the biggest part of it is hiring the right person, giving them the trust, and the thing is, they will never do it exactly the way you do. And sometimes they'll do it better if you give them the opportunity.
Sometimes you don't want to grow your business in terms of quantity. You want to grow your business in terms of quality.
Yeah.
So you don't want walk-ins, you don't want that class coming to you. You only want the classes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the challenge is.
Yeah. So you decide how big do I want it. This one's gonna be. What else? Thank you. Yes. Thank you. So if you want, I have this profile assessment, just a quick assessment. If you want a copy of that, just give me your business card and I'll send it out to you.
So anyway, thank you so much. And we hope to share more with you, you know, to learn more about what you do as well during breaks and during the course of the 6 days.
If you want to learn more about emotional intelligence, I'm speaking Friday morning at 11. Yeah, I'm somewhere on this side. Oh, sure. Thank you.
He's going to get the guy with the camera.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Now, which is very
welcome if you
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Especially when you're trying to do the first time.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
Which is ironic, so I always
Excuse ma'am. Excuse me.
I think they want a group picture.
Yeah, so we can take a picture from there. A group picture.
Can I join you? Please do. Love this.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Did you make it?
No.
No?
Yeah. Excuse me, please. Just go. Okay. Wait. Smile here. Yes. See. Wait. Wait.
Okay.
Wait for video.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Do you by any chance know the next session in here? Do you know the next session in here?
And you know, if you need more information about
Yes.
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
for example the chat and there's only 16 years. But I can actually give you this.
Yeah, I want to. I need it here in the US.
So this is just to give you an idea
So
to
we grow our hair out and we cut it off.
yeah. How is it different from no, I want to give
That's great. So it'll look like that next week.
okay, there you go. So, can I have your card? Are you from Kenya? Oh, Kenya. Oh, nice. What a pleasure.
She ran away from the picture. She doesn't
She too.
Why?
She's too beautiful. She thinks she was still there. Okay, I'll give you my
You were
card.
the driver,
I
right?
was.
Yeah.
I made the
Because come on, let's
Yeah, but I mean that was fascinating because it was
It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Yeah, it is.
So, here's my card.
We learn.
I will
We
do
learn.
it so she can put it on.
We really learn.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You were right,
I'll
we
give
were meant to be here. Cecilia,
Let me give you my card. It's fascinating.
Good. Thank you so very much.
Sorry, the name is on the other side.
I do.
So you can check out my company online.
I can check your.
And your name is Lucy? Lucy, from which part of Australia? Brisbane. That's a long way to come.
I know.
How long did it take?
8 hours to Hong Kong and 5 hours.
Well, it's more or less the same with us from Canada.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like from Toronto to Amsterdam, and Amsterdam to 9 hours plus 6.5 hours. But total of
I was 14 and a half hours to Dubai and 2.5 from Dallas, Texas. I had 4 crying children that didn't make some home. I don't know. I'm getting some vinegar or something. I think they wear themselves out. But I think mine took turns. Right? One would stop and go, oh wait, my turn. There, 2 were from one family, but the other 2 had
why do you want to do
Looks
it
at
by
the
themselves?
Honestly, at some point, I say, I don't want to do that. What's wrong with these kids?
What are
Like,
you
and you know, the poor dad, he kept, trying to console this kid. And as a mother, I felt as if there was something better he could do. You know?
part of the world?
Anything.
Because my daughter too, like she has ear problems, so whenever the pressure she would scream, and at that time I just did not get it. That's what my family was like.
Yeah.
Before the flight, give them something, just to help them.
Yeah.
It's like,
And because I still have it. So it's me and the babies. So give them something to suck as well.
suck as well. Yes.
Something about that helps.
Right. I don't know.
But I have these, we call them earplanes now. They're like earplugs with hollows in the middle, and there's a little thing that goes back and forth, and it's
For it will work for children, for babies.
yeah, they have earplanes for kids.
Okay.
Yeah, good. I've got to run up to a
Yes,
conference.
I also.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Pick up. So Sandi,
So nice to meet you. I'm sorry I felt like I took over your.
No. Absolutely. I think we did well.
I should take this.
It's as if we had an opportunity to plan.
Work together.
To plan and really work together. So I think there's a lot of potential. So what sessions will you be attending tomorrow? Anyway, if you see me, just look up. Are you in the Novotel or Pullman?
Pullman.
Okay, I'm in the Novotel. They're so close by anyways.
Let me give you, do you have my card? Because I don't have
What
my
is
cell
everybody
phone.
doing now?
I'm running to a conference call. I've got a 2-hour training session.
You're going back to your room again.
Oh yes, I know where I put it. Somewhere special. I had this thing of hiding things for myself.
In a safe place.
In a safe place.
I understand that.
Yes. Even an email. Do you get emails on your mobile?
I do.
Okay, that's probably best. Somebody just called me here from me.
There you go.
Thank you.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed playing.
I think it was so great. Exercises are better than sport, and they seem to have enjoyed it. I mean, at the beginning, I didn't think we'd get anyone, but we ended up.
Just like I'm thinking we're not getting anyone for the domestic violence.
Oh, are you having another one starting now? Okay. How many minutes is it?
Say 1 hour.
Yeah, but normally the girls who are volunteers, they normally help. They help. There's gonna be somebody to support your session.
Oh.
They will come in and then try to get people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so don't worry.
How long did you get people?
It took us 10 minutes.
Oh,
We were
okay.
10 minutes late.
6707. I'll keep waiting. I'll be
Yeah,
patient.
just wait a little bit. Yeah, because sometimes people are looking for rooms and
Right.
sort of
Oh, okay.
trying to. Yeah.
And the volunteers help. They
Do you have other? Who else? Who are you doing it with?
That lady.
Oh, I think I saw her. She was in front of this room earlier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good luck.
So all the best.
Hey, are you speaker?
Wait, I'm one of the speakers.
Yeah. Are you speaking now or
I'm supposed to be speaking now, but I can't see anyone coming.
at 7:15?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Despina, is it?
No, I'm not that one,
Okay.
but I'm supporting her as well.
I see. So she's not coming in, but you're doing the same talk instead of her. What's your name?
Lucy. I'm not sure if she's coming.
But did you?
I haven't even talked to her, but I've been put in the same slot with her, so I don't know if we're sharing time together.
too originally.
I was
Born in
yeah.
Zambia, Zambian culture, but you've got that mix, that wonderful mix that so many on the planet are now having.
I know.
I like mix too. My dad's Mexican, my mom's American. So
Oh wow.
very
So
cool.
what do you
I now currently live in Dubai, in the UAE.
Oh my gosh, people have traveled everywhere.
Yeah.
So really curious to see what you're going to present on. When you're close to the speaker, it gives feedback. Take your walk towards me, please. Walk. No. Put down the speaker. Wait, no. Come walk towards me. Walk. Come. When you have that microphone right Sit down. It's really painful. Sir, turn that off, please. Turn off the electricity. Hello. See, don't test that. It hurts our ears. We're really sensitive. Okay, don't test it like that. Really lower. It's really painful.
He's been doing that, so it's not his fault. It's a technical
No.
problem.
But I was telling him no. I know that.
Yeah.
But I was just saying I was telling him the solution, to just because the close when he was going to the thing, it acted up more.
Oh, I see. Because when I came in, it did the same.
No, what happens is when you take the microphone and put it right in the line of the speaker, it does that. So I was telling him the solution.
To come away from it.
So that it stops.
Because that lady, when he kept doing that, it was
Because
annoying.
she's in the line of it. So you have to see over here. So she must have walked in here.
Yeah, probably. Because when I walked in, she could make that sound. It was super annoying.
It is super annoying, isn't it?
No, I'm looking at the. I'm trying to clear the mouth.
You know what? I can, if you don't mind, I'll just take down my full name because when they will upload the video, they can please credit you with it. So can you just type your name for me? Because I have only Desina's name on record, so and the topic you're speaking on, so you can clarify that. Would you prefer me to remove that slide from you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That same topic. That same topic.
The topic's the same.
The topic's the same.
Thank you. I'll just let them know.
I sent them my photo though. So
You did?
Yeah.
To whom? Could you just?
I sent it to Kavita or something a long time ago when I was just asked to speak.
Okay.
Do you want me to send it again? I can.
You could. Okay, you could. I can't get it. I'll just get back.
Okay.
So this switch happened a while ago, is it, Lucy?
Yeah.
How long ago would you say?
Maybe January or February.
Oh, I see. What?
Is there any session here?
Hi.
Have you finished?
No, we just started.
Just, do you not sausage yet?
No, not at all. Please. Thank you. Please, have a seat. It's one suppose. I have taken a slide down to see. Yes, you start whenever you're ready.
I wanted to video you, but we've got to go somewhere else as well. Oh.
I can stay here for a bit and then I'll do half an hour.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do half an hour.
Okay, why don't you start? I'll just get the guy to start the camera and all that.
I want you to share everything. I'll just share a few things because let me show a video on this. I just say so I've got a little bit of you, yeah? Yeah. Just a little bit. I haven't found a PowerPoint to show. How about the kids? Oh no, you hold on to that screen, it's no worries. Oh, this is, I see what you mean, it's a low battery. You can do it like here. I don't mind, whichever. I just thought it'd be nice for you to have. Yeah. But then, one of them needs to give me a PowerPoint. Oh yeah, maybe I can use that one. Hey. Yeah, there it is there. So, you need, it's one that you need another socket to plug that in. And then how do you get that to that? Do you think you can help me with the PowerPoint on there?
Meaning PowerPoint. Yes. You see? You can mail it to this email ID. She blocked it enough times. Yes,
But digitally, अभी तो कहाँ है? अभी तो कहाँ है?
change.
Excuse me. भैया कर दो क्लियर क्लियर कर दो यार वहाँ पे रुका हुआ है उस गाड़ी में
hasn't received it yet.
She wants me to come with you? I've sent it, it's been sent up my.
Yeah, and it's right, I think. Unless we got to do spelling mistake.
No, we're just going to do it.
पिपली नहीं चलेगी ओके
Zulu. I'm Australian. I'm African Australian, so I'm representing Africa because that's where I was born, and I'm representing Australia because I'm now a citizen of Australia. Yes, so today I'm talking about domestic violence, and I'm a survivor of domestic violence. I was married to a man for 7 years who abused me, red, blue, and black, you name it, and he did that to me. But guess what? 6 years down the track, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm no longer that woman who was trampled down and bashed and bruised, red, yellow, and blue. And the abuser, I don't know where he's at in his journey, but all I know is I'm doing well for myself and my children. So domestic violence is not something that was ever intended in any relationship. To love somebody is not to hurt them. And it's easy to be a victim because all you do is fall in love with someone, and the next minute is they get into your head, walk into your head, and change, rearrange everything in there. They change your furniture. It's like getting into someone's house and changing it according to the way you want it, without the permission of the owner. That's what happened to me when I was married. So I fell in love with this guy. Pretty much, I met him at a bus stop. How good is that? I met him at a bus stop. We worked together at the brewery, at Sandi National Breweries, and he was an electrician, so definitely he worked in the workshop, and I worked as a public relations officer. So I never even saw him. I never even knew who he was, but he saw me. And because I'm so tall and elegant, of course he noticed me. And one time when we met at a petrol at the station, at the bus stop, I met him and I was asking, oh, hi. And he said hi back. And he's like, oh, we've met before. I was like, I don't remember. He's like, yeah, oh, we worked together. So we exchanged numbers. And the rest was history. We only got to know each other pretty much, I think, for 3 months. And we fell in love with each other. And the problem with love, sometimes you mistake people as if you've fallen in love with them for a relationship, but it's never meant to be a relationship, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you fall in love with people, they're not meant to be in your life as your husband. They're probably meant to be in your life for another purpose, but you mistake them for a husband. And I got married to this man. 6 months later, I did see the signs. I sometimes struggle with women who say, I didn't see the signs. The signs were there. I felt them, like God has given each one of us an intuition. And us women are good at it because we've got the sixth sense. We can pick it up. But then you go and ignore it and think, oh yeah, I can change this man because I'm a woman. All I want is to change. I think, oh, I look at a man and I see change. Women usually come into people's lives to change them. That's who we are. We see our children, we want to change them, we want to improve them, we want to make life better for them. But it's not, it doesn't always work. Some people cannot change. So, one thing that I fell in love with was the fact that he was a hard-working man. Of course, he was handsome to my side. He was good to look at. And when I go introduce him to my family, I want people to say, yeah, he's good to look at. And because I'm tall, it's very hard for me to find a guy who's taller than me. So for me, that was a catch straight away. And he was a Jehovah's Witness. I don't want to put down that religion because I've met a lot of lovely Jehovah's Witness people. And that's the reason I got married to him, because I thought Jehovah's Witnesses are beautiful people. They're lovely, and yeah. So because I lived my next door neighbor were Jehovah's Witnesses. It was a beautiful family. The backyard was full of roses and flowers, and that's what I wanted for my family. And when I met this man, I knew he was the one. But my intuition actually told me, but I just ignored it because I thought, yeah, I'll change him. Most of our problems came from the fact that he was a breadwinner. So in our culture, African culture, Well,